Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to take a look at the Thursday, October 24th NBA slate on Draftkings and Yahoo. We got a three-gamer today. We're going to talk through this three-game slate, go over some of my favorite plays. I got 6 picks that I'm going to be targeting today. Normally I'm going to give about 6 to 10 picks per video, depending on how big the slate is. Since it's just a three-gamer today, I'll probably stay on the lower side of that. On like the big 11, 12-game slates, I'll probably give like upwards of 8 to 10 picks, but just 6 today. Gonna give like guys at the top at the value tier. I don't want to give just stud plays. I'll try and mix in value with stud plays, maybe even some mid-range options as well. Just before we do get started looking at the picks, I would definitely appreciate it if you guys would drop a like on this video. And as always, feel free to leave any comments down below. If you have questions, feel free to leave any questions down below. If you want to give any feedback, I always appreciate your guys' feedback, whether it's positive or negative. You can always comment that down below. And if you are someone that's new to the channel, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. Also, be sure to click the bell so that way you get notified every time I upload and you'll never miss out on a new video. I will be uploading NBA videos daily for the whole season, so you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so that way you never miss out on a new video. But let's go ahead and take a look at my first play for this three-game slate. At the top, it's definitely crowded at the top. We got a lot of studs on the slate. You got Giannis, Harden, Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook. My preferred option at the top is going to be Steph Curry. Curry's $9,400 on DraftKings, $42 on Yahoo. So he should just totally dominate usage this year. With Klay Thompson injured and unlikely to play like the whole season, it looks like Klay's going to be out the whole season. Curry should absolutely dominate usage. Also, Kevin Durant's no longer on the team. DeMarcus Cousins is no longer on the team, but they're both on different teams now. So this is Steph Curry's team. This is going to be the Curry we see from like 2017 or 2016 when it was just him, Klay, and Draymond, and Curry was putting up like 30, 40-point games constantly. Curry's going to be upwards of 10, 11K by the time we get towards like the middle part of the season. He's going to be a 10, 11K, 12K player. He's going to be one of the most expensive players every slate whenever he's on the slate. So the fact that we're still getting him this cheap at $9,400, I think we definitely need to take advantage of this price. He has absolutely insane numbers with all three of those guys off the floor, Klay, Boogie, and Durant. All three of those guys off the floor, he has like a 35 or 40% usage rate. Assist rate is incredibly high. He takes a ton of shots when all those guys are off the floor. And I know the Warriors do have D'Angelo Russell now, who is a good shooter who can handle the ball, but I still expect Curry to be the primary ball handler for the Warriors. I expect him to take a ton of threes. That's something he's always going to do. This is a fast-paced game against the Clippers. This game has one of the higher totals on the slate. I think it's got the second highest total behind the Bucks and Rockets game. So it's a game that should be high-scoring, should be competitive. Curry, I think, could easily go for like 35 points, maybe like 8 assists, 8 rebounds, possibly could get a triple-double. If he's getting the peripherals, we know he's going to score probably 30 points almost every game. He's definitely going to be he's probably going to win the scoring title this year, I would imagine. Love Steph Curry here. He is my preferred stud to pay up for on this slate, especially on Yahoo. On Yahoo, Curry's only 42. Just to give an example of his price compared to others, I believe Harden is 55, Giannis is 54. I'm pretty sure both of those guys are 55, 54. I just can't remember which one is which. It might be flip-flopped, but the fact that you're getting Curry like $13 cheaper than Giannis and Harden makes him the clear stud option on Yahoo. And even though there's only like a $700 difference between Giannis and Curry and like a $300 difference between him and Harden on DraftKings, I think I still prefer Curry on DraftKings. Could easily be the highest scoring player on the slate. He's definitely the stud that I'm trying to pay up for. Steph Curry is going to be one of the top fantasy picks every slate that he's on. He's going to be a guy that probably averages over 50 DraftKings points rest of season. But now we're going to take a look at a cheaper play. Markieff Morris, I recommended him on Wednesday. He had an okay game for his price tag. He wasn't great. As you can see at the bottom, 17 DraftKings points, 22 minutes. Wasn't the best game for Markieff Morris. I thought he was going to play more than 22 minutes, which was kind of disappointing. But on today's slate, on Thursday's slate, he's still really cheap, especially on Yahoo. He's still minimum salary on Yahoo. $4,200 on DraftKings honestly still feels too cheap as well. I'm going to be going back to the well on a lot of these Pistons, especially on Yahoo, because on Yahoo over there, they didn't get price bumps. Guys like Markieff, we're going to talk about Luke Canard later in the video. Both of those guys are still incredibly cheap. Since they are on a back-to-back, some of the pricing hasn't adjusted like it should. Like Markieff only got a $300 price bump, and I know he didn't have the best game Wednesday, but still only a $300 bump. he's going to continue to start, and I would imagine he plays more than 22 minutes on most nights with Blake Griffin out. He's going to be the starting power forward. I think in this game, especially because he only played 22 minutes, we could see him play more minutes here on Thursday. It's a great matchup against the Hawks. The Hawks are one of the worst defensive teams. They were one of the worst defensive teams last year. I don't expect much to change this year. The Hawks were also one of the fastest-paced teams in the league. I expect them to play very fast again this year. So it's a really good spot for the Pistons again, playing up in pace against a bad defense. I'm going to be going back to Markieff Morris. He's still really cheap on both sides. Even though he disappointed on Wednesday, I expect better numbers in this matchup. It's a much better matchup than facing the Pacers. So I really like Markieff Morris from the Pistons as a value play. But now the next guy we're going to look at is Andre Drummond. Drummond was someone that I probably should have recommended in my video on Wednesday. I did like him a lot. I just didn't want to recommend him and Towns because I definitely wanted to play Towns on Wednesday. I didn't want to recommend two expensive centers. So that's why I didn't go to Drummond. I did play a decent amount of him, though, on Wednesday's slate. He's pretty underpriced again on Draftkings and Yahoo on Thursday. $8,300 on Draftkings. I think he dropped in salary. I believe he was $8,400 on Wednesday. $47 on Yahoo. I think his price tag stayed the same over there. So his numbers with Blake Griffin off the floor are absolutely insane. Pretty high usage rate. He has a crazy high rebound percentage with Blake off the floor. We saw it in Wednesday's game against the Pacers. I believe he had like 22 or 23 rebounds. If Blake Griffin was out for the entire season, I'd probably bet every dollar I had that Andre Drummond would win the rebounding title. But since Blake is coming back, that will take some rebounds away from Drummond later on in the season. But Blake's not healthy right now. So it's going to be Drummond out there just cleaning the glass, getting all the rebounds. He's going to be, or they're going to use him a lot more in the offense. They're going to run through him. He was touching the ball a ton on every offensive possession that the Pistons had on Wednesday. I did watch a decent amount of that game because I was pretty heavily invested in a lot of Pistons players, and a lot of them did come through. Drummond had a massive game on Wednesday, 80 DraftKings points, played 40 minutes. Probably doesn't play 40 minutes again because this is a back-to-back. But the matchup is so good. The Hawks are so bad defensively. They play at such a fast pace that I'll be going right back to Andre Drummond on this Thursday slate. He's probably going to be really popular because he had a big game on Wednesday, but on a 3-game slate, pretty much everybody's going to be popular. So I'll be going right back to Drummond. I like him a ton. The Hawks don't have a chance of slowing him down. I don't think John Collins or Alex Len are going to be able to slow down Drummond. Should be able to clean the glass as much as he wants. Should be able to dominate on the boards. So love Drummond here. He's a lock for a double-double pretty much every slate. He's going to get you a double-double, and he gives you steals and blocks as well. That was something we saw him pick up on Wednesday. I'm not sure how many he finished with, but I know he had like 3 steals and 4 blocks. Might have even been more than that. Drummond does give you the stock upside along with the obviously insane rebound upside, and that can get points as well. But now we're going to take a look at a mid-range player that I like today, Lou Williams, point guard and shooting guard. On DraftKings, he's $6,700. On Yahoo, he's $31. So in the season opener on Tuesday night against the Lakers, Lou Will played 36 minutes, which you love to see. Usually we don't see Lou Will play that many minutes because he does come off the bench. He's always been their bench player, always been their 6th man. Usually he doesn't get up to 36 minutes. He usually plays like upper 20s, low 30s, like 30, 28, 29, just somewhere in that range most nights. The fact that he played 36 minutes is something we like to see. In competitive games, Lou Will most nights is going to play like in the low to mid-30s in competitive games, especially if his shot's falling. He'll stay out there for long periods of time. And in a game against the Warriors that you do expect to be close and competitive, should be high-scoring as well, fast-paced game, I really like Lou Will here. I think he's going to have an opportunity to put up another big game. There's going to be plenty of shot opportunities in this game. And because the Warriors are without Klay Thompson is probably their best defender, along with Draymond Green. Klay Thompson would be the primary defender on Lou Williams, but since he's out, it's probably going to be either Steph Curry or D'Angelo Russell guarding Lou Williams, and those are obviously big downgrades from Klay Thompson, so this is a great spot for Lou Will. I'm going to be going right back to him. I did play a decent amount of him on the Tuesday night slate. I definitely like him again on Thursday. $6,700, $31, both of those price tags. DraftKings and Yahoo just feel a little bit too cheap for Lou Will here. But now the next guy we're going to talk about, Luke Canard. Cheap play from the Pistons I'll be going back to. Shooting guard, small forward. On DraftKings, he's $4,700. On Yahoo, he's still incredibly too cheap at $13. So Canard is one of the Pistons who did actually see a pretty big price bump on DraftKings. We saw Drummond's price tag pretty much stayed the same. Markieff Morris only bumped up like $200 or $300. I know Derrick Rose bumped up like $700, $800. Luke Canard, though, he was 3,300 on Wednesday night, got priced up to 4,700. So he's obviously not nearly as good of a value as he was on Wednesday. He did have a big game on Wednesday. He was pretty popular, had his career high in points, scored 30 points Wednesday night, along with a couple rebounds and assists as well. I think he finished with like 36 or 37 DraftKings points. Had the best game of his career Wednesday night. We're obviously not going to expect that kind of performance from Canard again, but if there was ever a spot where he could have another big game, it would be here against the Hawks. Just with how bad this team is defensively, with how fast they play. Luke Canard, a lot of his damage comes from three-point shooting. He's just a scorer in general. He doesn't really get rebounds or assists. If you get a big game from Canard, it's because he's knocking down a lot of shots, and that's kind of what he was doing on Wednesday night. Because this game's going to be played so fast, because it is a pace-up spot, there's going to be a lot of shot opportunities in this game. Definitely opportunity for Canard to score, which is what he needs to do to pay off this price tag. So I'm going to be going back to Canard. Have a lot more interest on Yahoo than DraftKings, but still think he's in play at 4,700. I was very surprised on Wednesday night that the Pistons did not start him. They started Bruce Brown over him, which was pretty surprising. I think Canard is a much better player than Bruce Brown. So it would be possible, or it could be possible that Canard starts this game and they move Bruce Brown to the bench. Even if Canard comes off the bench, he still played, I believe, 28 minutes Wednesday night. Even if he comes off the bench, you got to expect he probably plays about upper to mid-20s in minutes again. If he starts, you probably give him a few more minutes. Maybe he'll get into the 30s. But I think Canard's a good value regardless because he's so cheap. But now the last guy we're going to talk about is Kevon Looney, power forward and center. On DraftKings, he's 5,100. On Yahoo, incredibly cheap at $12. So the Warriors right now, they are very thin in the front court. Their starting power forward is most likely going to be Draymond Green, obviously. Starting center is going to be Kevon Looney. Normally their center would be Willie Cauley-Stein, but he is injured right now. So the only backups they have in the front court, they have Markieff Morris, they have Amari Spellman. I believe those are the only two backups that they have to back up the front court guys. So I think we could see Kevon Looney play close to 30 minutes in this game with just how thin the Warriors are in the front court. It is a great matchup. Centers against the Clippers is going to be a matchup we are going to target all season. They were one of the worst defensive teams last year against centers. Although I'm a big fan of Montrezl Harrell, he's really not that good defensively. He's pretty undersized compared to a lot of the other centers in this league. Ivica Zubac, just not really that good defensively. He's really slow. So it's a good spot for Looney. He's a lot more appealing on Yahoo, like I said. Only $12 over there. But I'm still going to be playing him on DraftKings, especially because he does have power forward and center eligibility. There's a lot of good center plays on this slate, like there is on most slates. You got Drummond. You got like Clint Capella you could go to. Obviously, you can play Looney at center. I think you can play Markieff at center as well. So the fact that he has power forward eligibility just gives you a lot more flexibility with your roster on DraftKings, which makes him very appealing, even with a pretty high price of $5,100. Still like Kevon Looney here. For him to be a good play at this price, you really only need him to get about 30 DraftKings points, and I think he could definitely do that. We could see him get a double-double, maybe pick up a couple defensive stats. Looney, if he plays close to 30 minutes, should be able to pay off this price, especially in a matchup against the Clippers. So I do like Looney on this slate from the Warriors as a value. But that's it for my 6 picks for Thursday's slate. Definitely appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you so much for watching. We got a lot of good feedback in Wednesday's video, so hopefully you did enjoy that one. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. You'll notice on the screen right now, I do have one of my more recent videos popping up on the screen. If you are planning to play the Thursday Night Football Showdown slate tonight, you can check out that video by clicking on the video on the screen right now. You can also click on my logo to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I said at the beginning, feel free to leave any comments, any questions, any feedback down below in the comments section. I do always appreciate you guys' feedback. But that's pretty much it, guys. Good luck tonight. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.